Hey, listeners, it's Rory here.
Mal here.
And we will be in Toronto on October 12th.
Will we?
Yes.
The 12th?
In the 6. You scared of the 6?
Why do you keep asking me that? Every time he says Toronto, he asks me if I'm scared of Toronto.
Hope we don't get flagged because that was such a good impression. YouTube will probably really think that was Drake. We'll be in Los Angeles on November 5th, London, November 17th, New York City, December 1st. I'm so excited. Please get your tickets at NewRoryNMal.com. And while you're there, maybe pick up some merch. That's available there as well. Hoodies, t-shirts, stocking stuffers. Holidays are coming.
I don't know if you could stuff a hoodie inside of a stocking.
Just get a big stocking. Also, subscribe to our Patreon and smash the like button on YouTube.
Smash the like if you ain't hating.
That's true. Put some thumbs up, some comments, share with your friends, share with your family. You know.
Your boss.
Just support us. Support us. Support us.
Yeah.
Support us.
NewRoryNMal.
We are back.
Yes.
With a new episode, a new audio adventure, a new visual journey into the hearts and minds.
I like that. The hearts and minds of
into
all
the hearts
listeners.
and minds of all listeners and supporters.
Influencing the people.
Welcome to a new episode of the New Rory and Mal podcast.
You are Mal.
Rory. You're Rory.
You're Mal.
Am I?
I mean,
I feel like it. I feel like Mal today. I'm Mal.
Somebody called me Mal and Sweetgreen yesterday. No, called me Mal, and I didn't reply.
Thank God they didn't call
like you're bad.
And then, like maybe 2-3 minutes passed, and he came back and was like, "Now I realize why you didn't answer. You're not Mal. You're Rory."
He did his Googles.
Yeah, I think so. I think he went in the back and like opened his phone.
Who's
and
Mal?
I think he was referring to you.
You're Mal.
You are Mal, but I look like a Jamal, so I get.
Muy Mal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are back. New episode, fresh from the house that Mal built. We were up in the Bronx with the squad watching the Yankees do what the Yankees have been doing this year, and that is disappoint.
Wow.
Well, shout out to Ryan for hosting us.
Yes, no matter what, even when the Yankees lose, it's always great to go to a Yankees game.
Yeah, it's just going to the park. It's cool. But the Yankees, they do suck this year. It's no secret. It is what it is.
Well, share a little bit of the experience. How was that for you guys? What did you guys get to do?
We were witnessing the rebuilding year at batting practice.
Yeah, like you could tell it's a certain energy that Yankee Stadium usually has, even at batting practice. It's fans get there early and in hopes of getting to their seats and catching some foul balls or some home runs or whatever. Well, not a real home run, but batting practice home run, just to catch some some balls. But it wasn't even that type of energy in this. Like, I remember that energy of getting to the game early and watching batting practice, and it's not that energy. I don't know if it's this year. This is my first time. That was my first time going in 2 years to a Yankee game. The energy just wasn't there.
The first time you went to a Yankee game, how was it seeing Yogi Berra?
Were you there when Lou Gehrig announced?
Well, Yogi Berra probably was there that day. Like, he wasn't playing, but he was probably there that day.
He's still in Montclair.
No, he's not. But yeah, the Yankees, I don't know, man. It's just I like Aaron Judge. Let me say that. I like Aaron Judge. I don't know if Aaron Judge is the prototypical Yankee captain, though.
I disagree.
About?
I think he is.
To who?
He's pretty clean cut. They like that shit.
To Derek
he's biracial.
Yeah, he's biracial.
But he's
and
not.
clean cut.
I don't know if he has that. It's something about Aaron Judge that I'm not quite sure of yet. Like, I don't know if he has that.
He's also extremely young. Like, and not everyone can be Derek Jeter, but I think he has the potential to be a great Yankee captain.
I don't want him to be Derek Jeter, but I don't know if he has that Yankee captain glow. Now, I know that happens when you win a ring.
Yeah.
Things change, but yeah, but it's not there, and I don't know. Stanton is listen.
I've never seen Mal hate on someone more in my life.
I understand though.
We are the Yankees are paying Stanton $40 million a year.
No, it's actually $29 million. They're paying Judge $40 million.
Well, Judge, he deserves that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 29 for Stanton,
and we've given Stanton a 2 to 3 year cushion right now.
He is terrible. He looks like he doesn't want to play baseball. Like, it's just his body. He doesn't. I don't know, man. It's just bad. The Yankees,
he went 0 for 4 last night.
They just don't have. They don't have that Yankee pride to their step. They don't have that sense of urgency.
It was a rough season. Last year was not that bad. It was a rough season.
Now, technically, they're still in the playoff race. They're not mathematically eliminated yet.
I mean,
well,
but
who did the math? Me?
No, I mean, mathematically, they're just not eliminated yet. But I don't know, man. It just didn't feel just the fans.
After Stanton went 0-4 and like the morale was so low, I figured they could just replace him with Julian. Because when we were at batting practice, we found out that Julian could go yard in right field.
It's 314. I can hit a ball over that fence.
No, you cannot.
And no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because I know I'm going to get killed in the comments.
No, you cannot.
The stipulation was while we were watching them doing batting practice, it was if we're doing slow pitch over the plate, optimal ball position, can you hit a home run in this stadium?
Julian.
I said I would attack right field and hit a home run.
By the way,
and Roy's
by the way,
aluminum bat.
He's also not a lefty. Like, you don't have the skill to attack right field as a righty.
I'm slicing it.
You're not slicing that.
I'm slicing it.
No way.
Wait, so you can go yard on a slice?
100%.
No way.
I have to. You know what though?
What are the wind conditions that do?
I have to learn about
Everything's
Julian's
perfect.
childhood.
Such a fluid
Everything's
swing.
perfect.
It's something happened in your
Fluid Julian,
childhood.
that's what they call him.
What?
Something happened. Like you were cut from a team. Something
I've
happened.
never been cut from a sports program.
Yeah.
I've always been an all.
You said you was an all-star. What he said? He
My
said
whole life.
I asked when did you guys? I asked everyone with us. I said, when did you guys stop playing baseball? Julian ignored that question and said, I was an all-star. Which is not an answer to my question.
And then didn't even know but he didn't even know the name of the team.
No.
Well, JC Little League was the name of my league. I don't remember what the regional
How do you
all-star
not
team
know the
was
name
called.
of your team that you played?
It just said all-star on it. Like it wasn't.
But I just love that you were an all-star. Still feel like you could hit a home run.
I could hit a home run. I'm dying on that.
You gave the game up in 8th grade.
Well, yeah, I ended up getting a Division I track scholarship. I couldn't swing a bat.
To high school, you got a Division I track scholarship?
No, I gave up baseball. That wasn't my sport. I played lacrosse.
That wasn't my sport. I was an all-star.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Something I did in my spare time, but I was still an all-star.
I was hitting 314.
But I could.
No, not then. Now, I'm saying right now.
Julian, I promise you.
Let's go to a field and do it.
Julian,
let's go back to Yankee Stadium tonight.
A lot of people cannot hit a ball 314.
Most can. I'm not one of them. I can hit it.
We could go to a batting cage.
Either way, the Yankee game was depressing. They lost.
Two things happened. I found out Julian could hit a home run in Yankee Stadium. The second thing I witnessed had nothing to do with baseball, but Adin and Julian can attest to this. We finally saw Mal's game. Like, we witnessed it.
Oh, yeah.
I figured out what Mal does, his strategy, and I didn't think
you should have seen
it was the strategy Mal would pick.
My game?
The bartender.
You did the classic, let me shit on you as much as I possibly can to get you to then like me and think my opinion.
Look at him smiling. He knows what he did.
Oh, y'all creating content. All right, go ahead.
No, don't do that.
There's no way y'all can tell me I shitted on that.
You got her Instagram.
Yeah.
You insulted her. You insulted her so much to bring her confidence so low that only you could build it back up. I know that game.
I didn't insult the girl.
Mal, you insulted her. You insulted her product.
Yeah.
I actually taught her something.
See? No, Damaris, look, I told you that was the game. He insulted her and then tried to teach her.
Insult her?
Look at Damaris.
And then had her just eating out of the palm of his hand with every question.
First of all, all right, so now y'all got that off. Can I tell what happened now?
Tell your version.
Tell your version.
You asked for pineapple juice and a bartender just poured what she had and then you spit it out and said, "Is this concentrate?"
Yo,
I didn't spit it out.
He really took a sip and he was like, "This is pineapple juice?" Like,
because it tastes like syrup. It didn't taste like pineapple juice. So I was like,
"Oh no, you was like,
it's shake it up before."
No, what happened?
Oh yeah, that
usually when they get it from the gun.
There was a history lesson.
Yeah,
I thought it was from the gun. And that from the gun is just straight syrup and water. Like that's not pineapple juice. So I was like, when I sipped it, I was like, "Is this pineapple juice?" Because it tasted a little weird. And she was like, yeah. I said, did you get it from the gun or like a can or a bottle? She said, from the bottle. I said, okay, then it's probably from concentrate. Like it's just syrup and there's no real pineapple juice in there.
It's really focused juice.
So she was like, oh, she didn't know what I was saying. Like she didn't understand what concentrate. And I'm just like, oh, concentrate is really just syrup. And
it was like
not really no fruit juice. It's not really pineapple juice in there. So she's like, oh, okay. So then she got the bottle and she looked at it and it did say from concentrate. So I said, yeah. So I was right. I didn't insult her though.
You treated her like she had been pressing that pineapple juice from the pineapple tree all morning.
No.
And like it was all her fault.
You broke her down. And then you started uplifting her.
Then you built her back up.
I broke down the difference between concentrate and not from Concentrate.
And
that's all.
And broke down her confidence.
No, I wasn't breaking down confidence.
I was talking about pineapple juice. Concentrate.
Yeah, we're eating peanuts and popcorn. He just talked about pineapple juice.
Yeah, like but I taught her something. See,
it worked though.
Yeah,
it worked.
How did it work?
Shorty liked
it.
She
I could see in her eyes. All she wanted to say was, "Sir, can you order a fucking Amstel Light like everyone else?"
Yeah.
But this is a bar at a baseball game.
She was asking you how you were. She asked for your name.
Well, that's usually what bartenders do. They ask you if you need anything else.
She didn't ask
Are you good? Like that. She was just being a good bartender.
Well,
see, that's the problem, guys. Y'all take that as flirting, and that's really just somebody.
She was
doing
flirting.
their job.
Damaris, you're a bartender.
Flirting.
What do you think? You think he was spitting game?
I don't think it was about the bartending. I know Mal. I don't think Mal was flirting.
No.
Yeah.
I think Mal was just being
There's no way. We all read the situation the exact same way without
y'all think
you don't do a whole 180 if that's not your game, just off subconsciously.
I think Mal was actually being nice to her. I think if it was a dude, he probably would have been meaner, honestly, about it. And also, from Concentrate doesn't mean that there's no juice in it. I just thought I'd throw it out there, so we didn't.
From Concentrate?
It just means that they.
Oh, we had a different opinion because we brought up that factor in the hypothesis that we were putting together. If it was a guy, I don't think Mal would have said a thing.
No. He would have just threw the drink away.
Yeah.
Or just left the glass there.
No, I would have asked him like, yo, because I didn't see her pour it. That was the whole thing. I didn't see, so I thought she really got it from the gun behind the bar. And I'm just like, that's why I asked. I said, you get it from the gun or like a can? She's like, a bottle. I was like, okay, so it's probably Concentrate.
You act like we're insulting you. We're saying that your game worked.
It worked.
But it wasn't game though. Like that's the part
It was just beautiful to watch.
Just because y'all see me. No. Just because y'all see me talking to a female doesn't mean I'm spitting game.
But you know where she's at.
Damaris, see, this is all part of the strategy. Of course he didn't ask for the number. Now she's been questioning for this entire day why Mal didn't ask for the number.
Oh.
And then he's going to pop up at the next home game just to fuck with her brain for like another 48 hours.
And
this is all part of the strategy.
You're going to send her a link to his episode from his burner.
Ew.
You think I have a burner?
I think you have a burner.
You got a fence.
You think I have a fence?
You definitely have I thought I was about like a flip phone.
No.
You think I have a burner phone?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You got a Motorola Razr?
Yo, Damaris, hold on. You take that out of a burnout phone?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, people need burners sometimes.
For what? I'm not in the streets
no one has
more.
a burner for anything positive.
Yeah. What do you think? What would I need a burnout phone for? Just tell me. And
I'm not gonna talk about it like I might, but you know,
talk about it on mic. It's okay.
We're literally wired in front of us.
No, I'm not built like that. I'm not a snitch, but I think you might have one.
On me, I'm not doing anything illegal. You can't snitch on me. I pay tax. I'm a taxpayer citizen.
Not no for sure.
But why? No, get back to why you think I have a burnout phone.
Well, you grew up in that era.
So you've never had one?
No. Don't do that. You're doing that thing that you like to do.
And NewRoryNMal could just be the front.
You're doing that thing you like to do. I've had a burnout phone.
Okay.
I'm talking about
when
you
did you
said
get rid of it?
Years ago.
Hey, see, look,
same year that Julian retired from baseball.
He put down the bat, I put down the burnout.
Yeah, like 98?
Yeah.
You both gave the game up?
I walked away from the game.
Gave the game up when I had baby teeth in my mouth?
Shit. With the day he walked away is the day I was like, that's it.
You guys both left on top.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you got to leave on top. But thank you to Ryan for hosting us yesterday at the Yankee game.
One last thing.
Shout out to the Yankees.
What was the bartender's name again? Delilah?
I don't want to say it.
I don't remember.
Arla?
Arla.
I thought it was Carla.
Carla.
Arlie.
Well, shout out to Carla.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. She was a great.
Well, while the Yankees were getting washed, there was an uplifting moment.
The best moment of the whole
Probably
game.
the loudest roar in the stadium throughout the night was
the loudest roar.
Yeah, when he left.
was when after Rory had left, this moment happened.
If you're listening on audio.
Look at Mal.
Mal was on the Kiss camp.
And they showed us too. So they put Mal and all of us on the jumbotron.
This guy did not give
there
a
we
fuck
are.
about us. Go back to Mal.
Why were you so upset?
Go back to Mal.
Because the Yankees suck.
But you couldn't get, I mean, you were on Kiss Cam.
People kill for
Kiss
this.
cam. I was sitting next to.
Wait, who'd you guys give my seat to?
We don't know.
Well,
they were sitting
you were to the
on
left.
the right.
No, you were the seat on Mal's other shoulder.
Oh, it's reversed.
It's
It's on
empty.
camera. All right, gotcha. Wait, then where did you guys go?
That's Edin screaming, yeah.
It was a seat in between us,
Gotcha.
me and
Yeah.
Julian. Yeah, the Yankees, they just, there was nothing to cheer about.
Not even with the whites next to you?
No, we were the only Yankee fans in that entire section.
We were
She
in the
looks
Blue
like a
Jays
good time,
section.
Sally.
She was there with her boy. I don't know.
I mean, they just
friend.
look like a good time. They look like they'd pound like Bud Lights with you.
There was nothing to pound Bud Lights about.
Oh, okay.
Did you
Yankees
guys pound
suck.
any beers? Do a glizzy contest?
Oh my God. Let me tell you about Julian and Edin. So they came back with fully dressed glizzies.
Oh, wow.
I'll pull it up.
Head to toe.
Glizzy's dressed to the nines.
3-piece suits?
What?
And
No.
Just I didn't even see Edin chew.
You guys look
Yeah,
like
Adin, no bullshit. Adin inhaled.
he throwed it.
I think before I took a bite,
What?
Adin finished his glizz.
No.
That's so embarrassing.
I was about to say
How'd
you
you
look
get
like the
that
guy that
photo?
puts relish on his hot dog, and look at that.
What's wrong with relish?
Ugh. Relish,
Well, you have weird taste things.
Yeah.
relish is just doesn't belong on
What?
anything.
Rory is like, I
Relish
don't-
belongs in like pasta salad and things like that.
He
Yeah,
doesn't like
maybe
anything
that
that's
you get
not
away with
orange.
that.
Yeah.
Even mustard, I feel like, is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
What? On a hot dog?
Yeah,
relish on the hot dog is not crazy.
I know it's
It's not
not.
crazy.
I know it's
Mustard
normal.
has-
I just think it's
standard.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
I know it's very
like
How do you-
pickles on a burger.
How do you dress your hot dogs? Pause.
Ketchup.
That's it?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna have a specific chili dog, a spot that does that, I'll do a chili dog.
That's a lot. A chili dog is a lot.
But
Putting more
just
meat on top of
ketchup.
your hot dog
Like,
is
what are
crazy.
y'all doing?
Pause.
That was the
Move
first
to
hot
Chicago
dog.
if you want a fucking
Well,
hot dog
no,
sandwich.
Chicago's mustard. That's
No,
their
it's
dog.
like
Nah,
tomato.
Well, like theirs, yeah, but
pickle
they never put
sandwich.
ketchup on it.
That's
Just,
sick.
ugh.
No mustard.
That fucked my stomach up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, relish.
No, like the hot dog.
You had gas.
Oh yeah. So like, I want to blame the hot dog, but we also had a steak sandwich, and it had
That
like
shit was fire.
4 tall boy beers, peanuts, and popcorn.
Oh, I'm sure your Tinder date afterwards was.
I went home alone.
I'm sure her
No,
eyes were
I
watering.
was at a Yankee game.
Her eyes were
No,
watering.
so I went home, but I had to wake up early because I had that fitting for
Oh.
Peloton. So I was
Just wanted to throw it
I
out.
was farting up a storm at Peloton.
I had a fitting for Peloton.
He just threw that out there. He could
Yeah.
just say
And I'm sure when they were doing your measurements, you're like, oh, I ate like a pig yesterday.
I'm such a cow.
I told them I cleared.
I'm
my field.
so bad.
Oh my God. Do I look fat in this?
I wore my Yankees media pass to the fitting.
I would be surprised.
Holy shit! Oh man,
It was a fun night.
Yeah.
fun night. Yankees lost. That was bad, but it was a fun night. Thank you, Ryan, for hosting us. And hopefully next year, man, we just got to get Stanton off the team. If we can get Stanton off the team,
He was killing in batting practice,
I
though.
don't give a fuck.
No
if we
effort.
could get Stanton
Slamming
off
that
the
shit.
team, I'm pretty sure we can get 2-3 solid young players that will just help this Yankees lineup.
Like Julian.
Yeah, somebody like
They got to get Julian.
I'd bring more of a spark to the team than him.
No,
Yeah, he
sure,
went 0 for
sure.
4. Tell you what, I can go 0 for 4.
Yeah, good luck on your Peloton. So on to this fighter jet that went missing the other day. We talked about it amongst ourselves, and we were like, how does somebody lose a multi-million-dollar fighting jet? Is this another just, hoax? Is this a fake?
Mm-hmm.
But come to find out, the jet really did take a detour after the pilot ejected, and it flew for 60 miles and landed in South Carolina.
Yes.
Mhm.
60
see.
miles a lot in this case. When it's
For a fighter jet?
Yeah.
Anything traveling
Yeah,
without
dude,
a pilot,
60 miles.
60 miles is.
I mean, it was on like autopilot.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's not super far in
we
a
got Tesla.
fighter jet world.
Fighter jet world.
They go
That's
pretty fucking
10 minutes,
fast.
right? Like,
Yeah, if that. So, but either way, like,
I guess it could have ended bad.
what the fuck happened? They said
Yeah.
that the pilot ran into some weather and was like, nah, hate the rain. Let me get out of here.
Something failed, right?
Aliens.
Is that what- Is that
100%.
what we think this is?
2 of them back to back. Then they ground all the flights for 48 hours or 24 hours, whatever it was. And then keep giving us this bullshit like, yeah, we found like a few parts in South Carolina. We don't really know what happened. Oh, yeah, the fighter jet hit some weather.
It's weird because
Some weather.
even with the eject happening with no pilot in the cockpit,
Why did the pilot eject?
That's a gay ass
that's a whole nother
Weather.
thing. Yeah,
That's what I was told.
but then
From the
they
mainstream
say they lost the jet. This is an $80 million machine. Throw a fucking air tag in it. Like, it has tracking devices on it. Like, there's no way
Well-
the navigation just went off the grid and they couldn't track where this jet was. And the thing about these F-35s is they're solo passenger planes. So they never fly one at a time. There were 2 other jets with it. So those 2 jets just lost track of this plane as well.
All right, so clearly
Got lost in the weather.
This is bullshit.
This is 100% bullshit.
This is bullshit. This is some more bullshit. Something happened. Maybe the aliens intercepted some shit. Maybe the pilot saw a UFO and got scared and ejected. It was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I can see that happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you in a jet
Yeah.
and something foreign pulls up next to you.
A little paper mache thing.
Yeah,
3 feet.
yeah. This is like, yeah, nah, I'm cool. I'm getting the fuck out of
Face
here.
blown in the wind.
Right.
Not in a ship, though. It's just chilling.
It's just- yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just running on the cloud.
There was a witness of the crash, and this is just the internet doing its best. This man from South Carolina
He watched
Or the
it. He
government.
watched the
Normally
whole thing.
it's pretty quiet, but on Sunday afternoon,
I was in the bathroom taking a shit,
Man, he ain't see.
and I heard a screeching. Saw that between a screech and a whistle.
All right,
What the
fam.
hell is this? And I heard a boom. Then my whole house shook.
White says he didn't realize it was a plane at the time, so he didn't call anybody.
All right. First of all,
Beat it right coming out of space.
I know Little Richard when I see Little Richard.
That's funny.
I said, well, if the airplane-
This is a crisis actor.
Let the thing find us.
How does the stereotypical Southern farmer have brand new veneers?
Did he say
He got Cameron's teeth in there right now.
Did he say he was in the house taking
Listen
the
to
shit?
the first line he
On
says.
Sunday
Listen to this.
afternoon,
In the bathroom taking. I was in the bathroom taking a shave.
Oh, a shave. Taking a shave. Okay. Well,
Those are called dentures, Rory.
Yeah, those are not veneers.
yeah, he's not a
Total different.
Rich fuck.
he's not a YouTuber.
You can see how the bottom ones don't move. Those
Ditches are one size fit all.
He got Pete Davidson teeth.
Yeah, no, that's
That doesn't match where he's at.
no at all.
That's a crisis actor.
I don't think that's
He lives in North Hollywood, and they flew him over there.
Scream!
And by the way, he's an actor that doesn't get a lot of gigs.
Yeah, no.
Like he overacted.
What's
this.
his gentleman's name? Randolph White. Randolph White. You ain't hit no jet, man. Cut it out.
You remember in like Malibu's Most Wanted when they're like thespians and then they have to become gangbangers and like
Yeah.
difference. That's what I think happened here. That's a thespian.
They couldn't
And
find
they're like, go
nobody
be a
else.
Southern farmer, and he's like, "Yeah."
They couldn't find anybody else. Everybody else that lives in that area where that jet flew over, and they found Randolph White.
Well, because he heard it.
So nobody else heard it in the area.
While he was
Still,
giving.
I mean, you've taken a shave, so
Yeah, but if you're
he's lucky he didn't cut himself. I mean, a screech like that, I might
Yeah,
raise
that
it. My
fucked me
hand would
up.
have slipped.
Exactly.
So they were able to find the debris. I'm guessing the jet landed, crashed, and blew up. Thankfully, nobody was hurt or killed because that could have landed on somebody's house,
on burning.
on Randolph's house, while he was taking a shave. But yeah, I don't know. But the pilot probably saw some shit up there, scared him. I don't see why a pilot would eject from his jet if
I
it
think-
wasn't like on
All
its
right.
way down.
My theory, have no proof of this at all.
Go crazy, Rory.
Horse eject.
May even sound like a screenplay, but hey, we got crisis actors. Why not throw in my writing?
Yeah.
I think the aliens fucked with whatever the computer system is of that jet.
Hacked it.
And then he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here because everything's failing.
Mm-hmm.
Got his ass out. And I think the other fighter jets, shit fucked up too. And they just got out of Dodge.
Well, maybe
They're
not.
not going to go follow it unless something is wrong with all of them.
Maybe not aliens.
You don't
Let's look
lose
at-
that shit.
Let's look at something that might be a little more plausible. Say,
North Korea,
say
China.
Russia or North
There you
Korea
go.
hacked the. Because again, these are computers.
I think it's a computer thing is what happened.
Yeah.
The fact they're saying weather is probably not to make us feel like we're vulnerable and anything can be hacked.
They didn't update
But it all can.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he just went into just one of those dark clouds.
Bottom
that
line
planes
is,
can't go in.
Nobody
And-
gives a fuck. We saw floating balloons months ago. We don't even talk
That
about
was the
shit
funniest
no more.
shit too.
Guess where that was shot over?
Exactly.
Mm.
South Carolina.
Oh shit, that's right over the same. That
what's
same
the house
same,
up there?
same backyard.
Randolph, he was there for that one too.
Why is Randolph White the only one around that hair shit?
Mm,
Taking a shave.
yeah.
Well,
lot of shaving.
$100 million down the
Poor
drain.
Randolph. You know he ran out of the house like, leave me the fuck alone. The balloons, jets. The fuck do y'all want from me? Oh man. But yeah, ironically, South Carolina again.
Losing $100 million like that is crazy.
They have it to lose.
No,
Yeah.
we have it.
We have it.
Imagine,
We have it.
imagine,
Oh, yeah.
imagine being a company losing $100 million. How do you make that up?
But they're not a company.
From us.
company.
You signed Kanye to a deal.
Oh,
The government should sell Yeezys.
Yeah. That's what they
Actually,
should do. The pilot, if the pilot was wearing Yeezys, he wouldn't have to eject.
Oh, he could have
Is
just
that what
landed
you
on
think?
his feet like a cat. I didn't read that on the side
Gotta
of the
show
box.
the UFOs you got Yeezys on.
yeah.
Put your foot up to the window like, yo, chill, man. Don't fuck with me. I got Yeezys on. They'll let you rock.
That's
you don't,
how.
you don't feel like we paid for that jet. Like we don't get an explanation.
And we're gonna pay for the next one.
I know, like
And the next
that's my shit.
Mhm.
Tell me what happened.
They did.
What,
Well,
are you gonna
Randolph
do,
told
what are you gonna do with that information?
I want to talk to the fighter pilot.
hmm
What happened?
What was that?
Yeah, because like, what else is gonna do after that? Okay, you talk to the
No,
fighter
you want to
pilot.
know? You gotta talk to the pilot.
I'm not saying
Has he
I didn't
done
pay.
it?
I don't want to hear from
We
Randolph White. I want to hear from the pilot.
I paid federal taxes. So did all of us here.
All right, so the pilot did say he experienced a malfunction and he was forced to eject from the jet. So
And then the other pilots lost his plane in weather.
Well, one pilot that was forced to eject from their jet is Kanye. Kanye, what? You love that.
I did. I did.
You love that. I know you love that. Kanye. Now, I'm here to get more flowers. Listen, I'm running out of
ejected.
I'm running out of space to put all these flowers, man. I told y'all that Adidas was going to align themselves with Kanye. All would be forgiven. And here we are. New CEO of Adidas, Bjorn Gulden. He did a podcast recently, and he said that he didn't think Kanye meant what he said about Jewish people.
And why am I hearing from the CEO of Adidas before I'm hearing about the fighter jet pilot? Like, he should be on a pod.
Well, because Adidas is more important than a fighter jet.
True. You're right.
Know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So the new CEO of Adidas came out and said that he didn't think Kanye was a bad person, that he didn't think he meant what he said about Jewish people last year. He said he just thinks that it came across that way. It came across in a negative manner. Now, I'm here to collect flowers.
Wait.
I love tulips. I love peonies.
Me too.
So
Peonies?
whenever y'all want to just throw
Can we break that down for that? That's a crazy line to say. I don't think he meant that.
Yeah.
He went to 2 different outlets and like tripled down.
I meant that shit.
And at one point, Alex Jones says, "No, I don't think that's what you mean." And he said, "No, that's exactly what I mean."
What did he say?
Like, that's a direct quote. Alex was like, "No, I don't think you're saying that Nazis are good." He's like, "No, I'm saying that I love Hitler and Nazis are great people."
Mm-hmm.
Alex like, "No, I don't think that." Yes, that's what I mean.
That's exactly
I mean this. I'm Kanye.
Well, the new CEO, Bjorn, says that he feels that Kanye didn't mean any malicious.
It's the most understanding human being on planet Earth.
Well, it's
profit
like
first, Rory.
It's just like when you have a lot of money. It's the same thing in your relationships with women. Women forgive and they move on quick. They they have a lot of understanding. The more money you have, the more they understand.
The more they'll accept you loving Hitler.
Exactly. So they know Kanye's influence. They know that he obviously has the culture in his hand. He has the ability to deplete your company of billions of dollars if he no longer is associated with your company. So I think this is just the new CEO's way of saying, hey, listen.
Come back.
The last CEO's out of here. He's gone. This is a new page returning. All is forgiven. Kanye, let's get back in business. Let's create some more sneakers. Let's design some more product and put them out through Adidas.
So he more or less gave that like racist wink to Kanye, like, don't worry, I'm cool.
Yeah. I'm not one of them.
You can say whatever now.
He's also German. I don't want to, presumptuous or speculate.
I think the last
but
CEO was German.
Was he too?
I believe so.
Oh.
You think we're going to see another Yeezy colorway / design?
No.
Absolutely.
I don't think Kanye is going to go back to Adidas. And I'm not suggesting that this meant that he's going to reach out to Kanye West and say, do you want to do Yeezy again? But I also don't think Kanye wants to do Yeezy at Adidas.
I think he does. I think he will. I think that they're going to have to give him more than they already gave him before. And this just does nothing to Kanye but solidifies everything that he says as far as he can do what he wants. He can say what he wants. He has the culture. And when you have the culture, you have power. You have, everything at your disposal. So I do think that Kanye, like I said months ago, Kanye and Adidas will rekindle their business relationship. And but I think it's going to cost them a lot more than it did last time. I think Kanye can play. He could throw his dick on the table now for real.
Kanye is either really bored right now or really at peace or both. And the bored part makes me think maybe he would do something with Adidas. But like when you call a paparazzi to shoot you getting head in public, you're pretty bored. Or you're really at peace.
Wait,
he needs something in his life.
It was confirmed that he called them.
He staged that?
No, he doesn't call. No,
he didn't.
He's not. He doesn't do that.
He didn't call.
He doesn't need to do that.
His ass, I don't think Kanye wanted his ass to crack out in camera.
He doesn't need to set himself up like
the
that.
fact that Rory thinks Kanye calls the paparazzi to say, "Hey, I'm going to be here."
No. First of all, that definitely has happened before.
Right. First, that's happened before, but that's not.
Kanye's called.
I know it sounded like that. I'm sure Kanye West has called paparazzi.
His wife's family does that. I don't think he's done it.
But we're not about to say when Kanye West's team or anyone books a hotel or travel or anything, that is not a version of eventually calling the paparazzis when you're in such a public place. Like, come on, is Kanye fucking West with his new wife walking around in public with no security?
And no shoes.
That's a version of calling the paparazzi.
No,
they've been chilling in Italy.
And he also has.
You don't think you think there was a time when Kanye was about to get some head? And listen, when we're all horny, we have a foggy brain. We all make crazy mistakes. You don't think he thought, oh, no one can see us?
No.
He was walking out in public for a week.
I think
with every paparazzi around him. He was like,
she was like,
oh, we're fine behind this pole, dear.
She was tucked under. She was like
that Shaq meme.
Because they didn't really get a good picture of her giving him head. They just kind of saw her getting up and they saw his ass crack out.
And you don't think that they knew what they were doing?
Not only that, I think what you're not understanding is even sometimes the paparazzi is following these celebrities, they're not right up on them. They can be somewhere down the street in the car with a camera, and you don't even see them where they're at.
You think Kanye West at any point in his life when he purposely walks outside in public thinks,
barefoot.
Nah, they're not around.
He
come on.
But like at that level, you just accept. You don't change your life. Or
you just don't get head in public because you know that unless you want to get head in public and have someone shoot it.
Kanye getting head in public can be an independent thing than him also being aware that of the status of the person that he is, paparazzi might be around. No, he wants to get head in public.
Kanye West
Somebody might take a photo of it because that comes with being Kanye West. He's not
at all times. It's
blow
connected.
Me here in the fucking canal because there's a camera behind us.
At all times, it's connected. There's never not a point when he purposely goes out in public and walks around for a week in a foreign city that they will not be following him every fucking place he goes.
But that doesn't mean he's going to alter
He didn't
how
sneak
he
out the
lives his
back.
life.
I'm not saying that, but you're not about to tell me it's not always connected and he always knows anything he does, he will be on camera in public.
Yeah, but you got another thing that you're not taking into account is
how great it is to get head outside.
He was on a water taxi.
Debatable.
So he's on a boat in the canal. Like he's not looking at every fucking overpass to see if paparazzi can see him.
But you guys are completely missing my point. No matter what, at any time, Kanye West knows that paparazzi is looking at him.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
That's different.
But the way that
my point, in addition to that, is he doesn't care. He's still going to live the life that he wants to live.
Oh no, he does.
That means getting head in the water taxi. He's going to do that.
You're making a separate point.
He clearly doesn't give a fuck.
You can't say that Kanye didn't know he was being photographed.
No, I'm
while he was getting head.
He probably knew that was going to happen.
Kanye knows he's going to be photographed anytime he's outside anywhere. He knows he's going to be photographed.
And with the stunts that Kanye West has pulled, and even when you watch that doc, he admitted in the 3rd episode that he does them intentionally for a reaction, that there's not a world after all this, Kanye West wouldn't pull a stunt about getting head on a water taxi. That's far out of Kanye's wheelhouse now.
No, I just think that
we're talking about Kanye fucking West.
I'm not saying that's out of his wheelhouse, but I don't think that he called paparazzi and said, hey, noon tomorrow, I'm getting my dick sucked on the water taxi. Be there.
I'll reword it when I say call. I don't mean Kanye West is opening up his flip phone and calling a paparazzi number. I think they are extremely aware that when
they know where he's going to be
in a public hotel and walk out of the front entrance and go to the popular restaurants and just literally walk around shopping.
There's eyes on him at all time, for sure.
He called them to some degree.
I also think that Kanye is mentally ill and y'all are just like skimming over that.
Mentally
you're
ill?
giving him
we all know
more. Yeah, Kanye is supposed to take meds. I think you guys are just skimming over that fact.
Like, meds and head, same thing.
His brain.
Well, maybe I do need meds, but
his brain is
head
not.
outside. It's great.
It's not about that.
Nothing to do with
in you saying that he's setting this up or he knows that he is being photographed, and I don't even think his brain is working that way. Kanye was walking around barefoot in the streets, like
gangster.
No, he had the little.
I got so much money, I ain't wearing shoes no more.
Abolish there.
He's just on that. He's in that atmosphere.
I think he's mentally ill.
No, I think so too.
We know
but I think
and y'all are like trying to contribute everything to like this like he's just this genius rollout of something. No, I think
two things can be. He's definitely a genius. I
just think he was horny.
Yeah, he's a man at the end of the day. Like he's a married man, and he wanted some head on the water taxi. He could get some head on the water taxi.
Falls in line with Christianity.
Yeah. It's in where were they? Italy?
Yeah.
That's not the first time somebody got head on a water taxi in Italy.
No.
That's like Uber. That's like getting head in the back of the Uber.
Yeah. I'm sure even in Italy, like, Uber has little signs of like, plug your phone in, gum water. I'm sure it says if you want head extra $50.
Yeah, just
I'll turn around.
Yeah, I just won't
and row the boat.
Get your thing off. Either way, I can't wait for Kanye to be back making new Yeezy models. Cause this is like a big fuck all of y'all.
You copping
at this point? Me?
You copping the anti-Semitic threes?
I don't.
There's
some Yeezys that I do want, but I don't have any Yeezys. I don't own any Yeezys. I don't
either.
How?
I do.
How do you not own any Yeezys?
That is kind of crazy.
That is surprising.
Yeezy owns him. He has the teddy bear on his arm.
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the difference. You ain't even see
Doubles
that.
as a barcode.
Yeah. No, I don't own any Yeezys though. There's a couple that I want, but I'm just not with paying all that money for. That's just like ego shit.
Yeah.
It's a sneaker at the end of the day.
I don't like wearing shoes that everyone wears too. So when
Yeah, I
those were
just-
blowing up, I had no desire to get a shoe
You're wearing
that everyone
Ame
had.
New Balances right now.
Yeah, I
They're
just
not Ame. They're just basic black, white, red.
Fair.
550.
the entire world has those shoes.
Nope, they have the Ame ones.
What's going to happen when Kanye West and Andrew Tate form Voltron?
Oof. That's a
What
day I
happens
don't
when
want to
that
see.
red pill is taken? Is the world ready for Andrew Tate and Kanye West? Because I'm predicting it in 2024.
That
I
they're
think
gonna do
they'll.
what?
I think they'll. Well, he's not an American citizen, so he can't run. But I think he'll be his campaign manager.
For Kanye?
Yeah.
Kanye's not running for
Kanye's not doing anything in politics.
He's not running for president. It's not happening.
Try to run for president.
He fell back to regroup.
It's over.
He's studying foreign policy in Italy. Same way he went to go intern for Louis Vuitton in Paris. He's coming back to see what was the dictator in
So
Italy.
he's studying in
Come
a
on, he
foreign
was like
country
the biggest
Like
dictator.
Mussolini.
Yeah, he's studying Mussolini
so he can
in Italy.
come and try to
I'm
be
aware
president
Mussolini's
of the-
dead, but like I'm sure there's more literature on Mussolini in Italy.
So he's studying Italian.
He already studied Trump. He's got Trump got
He's
him.
got American dictators down.
Yes,
Okay.
that's easy.
Got it.
I'm sure the amount of time he spent in London, he's got the royal family. That's why he went with the Kardashian.
Yeah.
That was the royal family in Hollywood.
Mhm.
Went with them. Now it's time to go Mussolini.
Got you.
The album's gonna be called The Excess Power.
Now y'all
my
y'all
God.
And it's
brought
gonna
up-
be Andrew Tate, Adin Ross, what's Skia, what's that other
Nico?
Sneeko? It's gonna be, yeah.
Sneeko.
Who's
Yeah.
Sneeko?
Who's Sneeko?
It's another streamer.
Sneeko?
Yeah. Candace Owens gonna be the first lady.
God.
The new Access Power.
Just go vote for whoever you want.
Maul's
to
gonna
vote
be the
for.
chairman of the boards.
Why would I be the chairman?
You could be the treasurer.
I mean, you know,
Why do you think Maul would be
aligned
the
thinking, I
treasurer?
think is what they call it.
Mm.
Anyways,
Eddie
Adin
was ecstatic about this. He was
Adin
going
Ross-
crazy that Adin Ross was streaming with Kim Jong Un last night. Was it you or no? It was Julian. Julian was ecstatic.
I wasn't ecstatic.
You was losing your shit.
Them your peoples.
Who?
I didn't even pay you any mind because I knew that Kim Jong Un was not getting on a live stream.
That's him.
Or fucking whatever with Adin Ross.
You know what's kind of fucked up though? It's not that unbelievable.
It's very unbelievable.
Bro, Dennis
No,
Rodman
I was believing him.
went to North Korea and hung out with Kim
Yeah.
Jong Un. Like,
Like,
how is
dude,
Adin
anything-
Ross on a
anything is
computer
possible at
out
this
of the
point.
possibility?
You're comparing Adin Ross to Dennis Rodman.
I mean, well, Adin Ross has more
Both legends
pull.
in 2 games.
Adin Ross has more influence than Dennis Rodman.
Adin Ross has more influence than Dennis Rodman.
Yes, by
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
By a
Yeah.
long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like Dennis is influencing right now?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. All rappers do kind of look like Dennis Rodman. If we're getting down to
So
it.
if Adin Ross has more influence than Dennis Rodman, how come he couldn't get the real Kim Jong Un on the live stream?
I bet you he could.
I bet you Dennis
I bet
Rodman
you.
could get Kim Jong Un
Because they have a friendship, yes, but that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing who has more influence. Adin Ross has far more influence than Dennis Rodman. It's not even close. This stream had over 500,000 views, and then when this guy started doing this,
How you doing, my G?
Hello, Mr. Andrew Tate.
in less than a minute, 450,000 people left the stream once they found out it wasn't him.
You mean once they found out it wasn't Kim Jong Un?
Yeah.
And let me tread lightly because Reddit like actually believes I like Andrew Tate.
Well, you do.
I don't. I just agreed with
You have a
his
dog.
family take when he was talking with the Adam 22 shit. I agreed with one thing he said.
That's enough of that.
But you don't agree with just one thing Andrew Tate has said.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate has said some truthful shit.
You named Amara after him.
You don't have to be an Andrew Tate supporter, but you what?
I don't know.
But you don't. He said some truthful shit where you're like, oh yeah, he's right. He's not lying.
I think men should stay in shape. I'm obviously not following his words, but
Dad
yeah, I
bod.
think men should stay in shape and be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
If you did, you could go
And then,
yard
like
Yankee
maybe just
Stadium.
draw the line there with his opinions.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about how Drake was on his Andrew Tate shit on that fucking scissor record.
In
Was
what
he
way?
really?
Y'all don't hear what he was telling girls?
I mean, we did the lyric breakdown.
He said, I can have you on a payment plan to you 150.
Is that some Andrew Tate shit?
Yeah.
I thought
Take
whips
back
and- I
everything?
thought whips and chains like an American slave was.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
that's where you were taking it.
No, that's just a bar. And what is an American slave? Us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
What is an American
I mean,
slave?
y'all had me at work on Labor Day, so definitely us.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between
Yeah, slavery.
recording a podcast on
working on Labor Day and being in the chains.
being a slave.
Well, give me some more Tate. Give me some more Tateism. Maybe I do agree with more, and I don't know.
I think Andrew Tate has he says things that are, you know, from a different time about how men and women dynamics in their relationship should be. And, you know, a lot of people feel like that's an old way of thinking. But he says some things where I'm like, because I didn't know anything about Andrew Tate. I'd seen that he was hated and nobody liked him. So usually when people say, you know, this person's this, that, and third, people hate him, I want to find out why. And hearing some things that he said, I can understand how it rubs people the wrong way, because it is an old way of kind of thinking and doing things when it comes to just the dynamics and relationship between men and women. But at the same time, he has some thoughts where I'm like, okay, that's not a negative thing. Maybe a lot of people don't agree with it, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't make him a bad person.
And again, let me tread lightly. I think with his masculinity takes, they would be received well had he not had allegations of sexual assault, human trafficking, everything that's been put on his jacket. I'm not here to say what's true and what's not, because I'm not
but a lot
in it.
But those girls also came forth and said none of that was true.
I'm not well versed in it, so that's why I said allegedly. I do not know. I think his takes would be received better had that not been part of his whole aura.
Right.
Because I don't think people disagree with masculinity. I think they disagree with masculinity when it overpowers women. That's
toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is
anything toxic you should disagree with.
Toxic femininity.
Exactly.
But before we move on, because I don't want to stay too long on sexual assault, what did you guys think of the interview with the fake Kim Jong?
I mean, I've only seen the clips that are. I wasn't tapped into the live stream. We were at the game.
No, you was looking for Wi-Fi.
I was going yard at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a cool stunt. Like,
Is it a cool stunt?
Shit on Aiden all you want. It's a smart move, man. That he's getting all the press. This is what he did it for. He's getting what he wanted out of it.
Can you give me more background on that gentleman?
Adin Ross?
Who?
Aiden.
Oh, Aiden. I mean, he's just. Oh, how do you explain Aiden? So the way in which you can say like Kai Cenat and like Speed are more wholesome and fun streamers, I would say Aiden is more of like the polarizing, draws more of the right wing crowd because of his views. He aligns a lot with Tate's sentiments. He is very pro-Trump. He's had spoken to Trump. They have a rapport. He kind of speaks for that demo, but for the younger kids.
He's like the Kai Cenat of like Florida.
That's scary because
what?
Obviously this was a troll, but a lot of these streamers, like the ones that lean more on the politics of their content, they're creating that gray area. They're ruining why we like the streamer shit. It wasn't mainstream media. There wasn't a gray area. We weren't wondering if we were really being lied to. We felt like we were watching just a regular person with regular opinions. Now, when you are a streamer with this influence and you have a rapport with someone that's about to run for president again, and you're also in the game of trolling about interviewing a fucking dictator, there's just too much gray area now. Now you're just part of the game. And you're feeding into the young kids that think trolling is hilarious, but then will also take all your other opinions serious, not knowing if maybe you're still trolling. Am I sounding like the old head again?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It's just too much of a gray area now with that. The streamers have aligned themselves with the machine.
I mean, streaming is up.
Which we knew was going to happen. Yeah. Streaming it's the most popular thing. It's what the kids, we knew that was going to come. But it's getting nasty. It's just going to be the new version of mainstream media. They're just now going to do it with more polarizing kids that can also make you laugh. Like
yeah, but it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And I know this is a joke, and I'm not saying that him doing this troll is harming kids and we should stop this. I can just see this going further with the mainstream and with young streamers. Like, they're just going to manipulate the next generation the way we were all manipulated by the actual news. That's all. I'm sorry. Am I sounding like Russell Brand with fight against mainstream media? Oh, wait, this is bad timing. I don't want to sound like Russell Brand.
Yeah, you don't.
Nice. Well, I mean,
that was a bad accident. Russell Brand.
Yeah, y'all. So y'all wanted to talk about this. I didn't know about this. Last time I heard about Russell Brand, he was talking about the COVID vaccination, and he was going on that whole run. These sexual assault allegations, I have no idea about what's going on with this.
Yeah, for those, I know a lot of people know Russell Brand from movies and other shit. He's been hilarious in movies. He had a rebrand. He got sober, got away from Hollywood, wrote a book about all his past transgressions.
Probably did some ayahuasca.
He talks about that often. Has a good platform that is pretty much dedicated to fighting against the quote unquote machine, vaccines, overall mainstream media, government, etc. Now, I don't want to be the guy that says his face always looked like he was handsy, because that's not fair to put on someone. There's plenty of people.
Yeah, you can't do that. Can't do that.
And that's not what I'm doing in this situation. But he did have a long history of admitted promiscuity.
Kicking your ass, but you got it.
It's a hard word.
Sound it out and say it slowly.
So when someone does promiscuous. It's promiscuity. Promiscuity. Ingredients of the promiscuity.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll help you out. We're going to work.
We're going back to Space Camp.
We're going to work with you.
Space Camp.
So there's been multiple women that have come out to say that he sexually assaulted them, raped, and then there was one of a 16-year-old that he dated.
Yeah.
Wait, he dated a 16-year-old as a grown man?
Yeah, but the laws, legally, it was okay.
Oh, in that part of the world.
In the UK, yeah, he was 31, she was 16, but their age of consent is 16.
Got you, okay.
And he would give her like scripts on how to manipulate her parents and like how to get out of school. There was even a case where a cab driver was dropping her off at his house and begged her not to go inside because his daughter was the same age. Like that's a grown man. Don't do that. And at that point, it was very much, in her words, consensual. And then she got older and realized, why the fuck was this 31-year-old man dating me? And he was obsessed that she was a virgin and would always talk about that. And I don't care if the law is 16. That's sick. That's weird. Grooming. That's disgusting.
That's one thing people like to hide behind is, the legal age and, it's legal. It's legal. That doesn't mean it doesn't look bad. That doesn't mean it doesn't look nasty. That doesn't mean that, it's okay. Like if you're 30 years old, 31 years old, you should not, what do you want with a 16-year-old girl?
And what's crazy is he did a
but there's adults. There's 21, 22-year-olds that are virgins. Like 16? That's insane. I don't care about the religion and the culture and people like to hide under those things. It's all nasty shit. A man should not be marrying a little girl. And those cultures where they do that and it's religious. It's nasty. It's fucking disgusting.
Most religions are gross.
Their history is gross. But he did a response video on Twitter saying that everything was consensual, and this was just a way for mainstream media to attack him, discredit him, because he's been saying things like don't take the vaccine and exposing all this other stuff. And here's the thing. Two things can be true.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really weird response because he could be very much correct. But these allegations still exist, and there will be due process. But at the end of the day, there's still one that you're admitting to. You dated a 16-year-old. I know there's 3 other women. I'm not discrediting anything they're saying. I do hope they get justice, and I do hope that case gets solved. But how can you say mainstream media is just trying to silence you when you've also, but you did that. You dated a 16-year-old.
Well, I think that's just his way
of... That's a really lazy and stupid response. Yeah, of course, maybe they are trying to silence you. I agree.
Yeah.
But you still dated that 16-year-old.
Exactly. He was like, and there's other reports that he was like encouraging them to throw sex-themed parties. He was just like very imposing and trying to push a lot of sexual.
Isn't he one of those dudes that walks around with like a scarf in the summer?
He had that era. Like him and Johnny Depp.
I think any dude that does that, you got to watch them.
In a top hat or some shit.
Pay attention to those dudes. They have little tricks up their scarves.
Yeah, no, it is definitely It's a red flag.
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
scarf.
Like, well, it's summertime. You got this scarf around your neck with a funny hat. What are you?
And
like a fairy. Like, what are you doing?
you know where I feel like, not that they had all the credibility in the world, but so many right-wing platforms, speaking of which, like Ben Shapiro and other outlets are reporting this, and they keep saying, well, the legal age of consent in the UK is 16. He did not do anything wrong. It's not against the law. But then have the nerve to say transgender teachers reading books to kids is grooming them. So what the fuck is Russell Brand?
Yeah.
He's a groomer. Like, it's legal. Is that not grooming? You're 31 dating a 16-year-old high school student because she's a virgin, trying to get her to manipulate her parents, leave her house.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not grooming?
Absolutely.
Yeah, grooming doesn't grooming doesn't end because the person's of legal age. Grooming is a tactic that can be used on anyone of any age.
This is straight up a adult having straight sex with a child. And now there's excuses. Like the transgender stuff within schools, I do disagree with some of it, but there is also there's a gray area. There's some positive parts about it. There's also negative parts about it. I do understand people on the right, especially saying there should be no sex shit in school, period. And then not even go into the gray area of how it could be positive, but then straight up say when a 31-year-old straight guy fucks a 16-year-old girl, well, that's the law.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
No,
like, you told on yourself.
Right.
So
it's definitely...
we can move on. I know it's a Debbie Downer topic, but so many people expose themselves in the media after this Russell Brand shit.
Well, it's like you said a few episodes ago. There's no morality in entertainment, music, show business.
No.
You can't have any morality when it comes to this type of thing because...
Morality is the entertainment. You have to look moral.
You have to look
like facade. It's
right.
That's the entertainment. It's like, look how moral he is.
If we really start just talking about everything that goes on and things that people know about and they kind of just turn a blind eye to because they have to work for this company or I'm doing this film and I'm working on set and I have this album coming out or this artist is making this label a lot of money, so we got to kind of turn a blind eye to domestic violence and things like that. It's like,
I think we all just need to take a break for 120 days like Nicki's husband. The whole world. I think we should all just take a 120-day break.
So it seems as if Kenneth Petty is in some troubles, and I kind of felt like this after that whole live stream, whatever you want to call it, IG Live, because he said some things in that where I was like, I didn't want to speak on it because never want to bring shit to light if nobody else is saying it.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was going to be some backlash from it, especially saying you would be planning your funeral. He directed that towards Offset. And, I know how the legal system plays and things like that, especially when you have other issues outstanding with the legal system as is. There's certain things you can't do, say, certain places you can't be. But this was something that I did see coming. I didn't know about 120 days, but I did think that he would get in some trouble for some of the things that he said on the IG Live. And here we are now today. A federal judge has ordered Kenneth Petty to serve 120 days on house arrest for threatening Offset's life. This is why I spoke on it the way I did, because I didn't want this situation to turn into something obviously serious. Legal matters now, coming into play, house arrest, and just threatening somebody's life, is just never something that needs to be done on social media.
I appreciate that you didn't do a deep dive in it on our platform, but it wouldn't have mattered. These two fan bases are so dedicated. I'm sure a Cardi B fan found out exactly who his parole officer was, sent that video in, and he was nabbed the next day. Like,
oh yeah, no, I mean,
and of course we already know that the cops and parole officers are already on the internet to begin with, and that's Nicki Minaj's husband. It was big news, but all frames were sent by the entire Cardi fan base.
Oh yeah, no, they had,
and the bars would do the same thing if it was reversed.
Absolutely, they have plenty of people that will send things their way in case it runs under their radar and they don't see it. But again, this is one of those situations where it's unnecessary.
Be on parole and like be next to other felons.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know his whole case, but that's like pretty standard.
It's just certain things that just doesn't need to be done, need to be said. And, you know, that whole situation, again, is something that I'm sure he probably looks back and be like, you know, I should have just stayed at the hotel, stayed in the house, and stay off social media.
Yeah.
That's always the quick fix to all of this shit, man.
And
stay off of social media.
Like, relax.
Yeah, don't open
the VMAs in the backstage.
Don't open no phones, you know, no IG lives around me. I'm not doing none of that. And, you know, I think that's just the best way to move when you have certain things at risk. Like, you know, not being able to leave your house and be with your family and travel and things like that. Like, just for an IG live video, it's just not worth it. So let's be smart. And again, man, hopefully this whole situation, you know, they can put behind them. And, you know, because you don't want to see nothing serious, nothing real happening from just words and social media. And because we've seen where this can go. And we've seen it time and time again. And yet and still, we still find a way to entrench ourselves in bullshit. So hopefully that's not the case here. Hopefully it's 120 days or something where it's like, all right, I'm cooling, I'm chilling, I'm not fucking around, I'm with my family. That's what I'm doing.
Damaris, can you explain this whole school picture debacle? Because I saw there was a photo of Nicki, her husband, and son walking in a hallway, and everyone was saying she's trying to allude that they're at a school. She didn't say they were at a school, right?
Not that I know of, no.
This was just the internet being...
The internet.
All right, cool. Because I don't know what school you think Nicki Minaj with her money is sending her son to, but it's not this school. This looks like the back of a venue. This looks like the back of a hotel where celebrities go out of instead of going through the front door like Kanye West. Nicki Minaj's son would not go to a school that looks like this.
No, that's probably a basement to a school.
It looks like a basement to a school, for sure.
It looks like a basement.
To the school that Nicki Minaj would send her son? I don't know what their like basements look like in Calabasas Academy or whatever the fuck, but I don't know, man.
I mean, sure, that's like the basement, but like...
what is this supposed to look like?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know, like a fucking...
The floor.
He thinks it's gonna look like the Kardashian house, like it's
like
all cream.
Don't they go to way better schools?
No, but that doesn't matter. The schools are still colorful in school, like Rory.
I don't think Kylie went to a middle or a elementary school that looks like this.
Again, this could be a basement back entrance. It's Nicki Minaj.
I don't think it's a school.
And I think Nicki Minaj is sending her kid to a school where other celebrities' kids would be at, and it's not weird for Nicki Minaj and her husband, depending on what his status is, to pick their kid up from school.
Her husband is on the sex offender list.
I'm aware,
not allowed in schools.
But that doesn't mean you're allowed in the basement of the school.
No,
but
that's
all above ground schools.
Yeah.
That's so the fans. This is not even the fans took this and ran with this because the number one thing that the Cardi fan base always says about Nicki's fan base is at least Offset can pick his kids up from school. So when Nicki posted this photo, the Barbs took it and ran with it because they don't have fucking fan bases, don't have brains. So they took this and ran with it and was like, see, he can pick his kid up from school. They're not at a fucking school. They're at like the back entrance of a hotel or something like that.
Did Peach Photoshop this? Could be that.
Listen.
Being a sex offender and I don't even about being in a school is hilarious.
I don't even think the water jugs over there at Poland Spring is what the school Nicki Minaj would send her son to would be drinking.
Be Fiji?
Yeah, 100%. Individual bottles for each kid. There's no way he's going to the water fountain.
Huh? Individual bottles of Fiji?
For each student, for each class they have.
That makes sense.
There's no water fountains, I think.
It shouldn't be.
At a school, Nicki Minaj is sending her.
Y'all don't think water fountains are a good thing?
After COVID, no.
Before COVID, no.
Are you putting your mouth on the water fountain?
Mad kids.
I've definitely seen kids do that. I'm like, bro.
A lot of kids did that. One is a joke, which I thought was always nasty. Two, you don't even just putting your face that close to where everyone else put their face, and
but silver.
A silver kills the bacteria.
Well, when I was I don't know if when I went to you're stupid.
And they put that little guard on it. Like, come on.
When I was in school,
splash guard. It's
the guard made the bacteria even stay closer to you.
Yeah,
it's a splash guard.
When I was in school, we just filled cups up with it.
Even worse.
Like you fill a cup up.
My mom said if you ever need to use a water fountain, let it run for 10 seconds before you engage with it.
Coming in from recess, like, yo, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, if you're first to it, if the kids before you have been running it, then it's good. Then you're good to follow suit.
I don't think that's how that works.
I think that's to get rid of like the aluminum in it.
Most water pressure water fountain was in all your schools?
Oh, of course.
You got to know which one.
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
to.
yeah. You had the there were some elite.
And then a lot of people drank from that one that like just had a little water pressure. You might as well put your mouth on it.
The
for how
dribbly
much
one?
water came out of it.
Yeah.
I just don't think Nicki is sending her son to those schools.
You guys ever drink water from the park? At the
I
fountain?
have, yeah.
That's the best water. After playing all day, one of them cold.
It tastes like a hot.
Oh, fire hydrant.
I was getting cold. It was
An
never.
open fire hydrant.
You've drank water from a fire hydrant?
I have, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, y'all are from New York City, so that makes sense.
1000%. That's the best water.
Best water.
If it's been running for like 2 days, that fire hydrant been open,
And they really
ice cold.
Squirted.
they let the water fountains go to shit in all the parks in New York. There was a time when they weren't terrible. Like they had water pressure. They didn't look like heroin was just cooked up with a spoon right
How
now.
far back are we
Dogs
talking?
have always been peeing on them, so I just don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
not
they're not peeing
every
on that
park,
park.
but the
Oh,
parks
what?
that like a lot of kids would go to. They
pee on
keep a
water
little bit.
Dogs pee on water fountains?
How do they do that?
No, fire hydrants.
Fire hydrants.
I think that's just like a cartoon thing.
No, dogs really pee
No,
on fire
dogs
hydrants.
literally
Dogs pee on anything other dogs peed on.
I was gonna say
Which
I've
is
seen
generally
Baisley piss
fire
on a water fountain, but I've also seen Baisley piss in my bed. So like, it's just
You
another
just-
thing.
Also,
never
water
trained.
fountain.
You just haven't trained her.
She's a free spirit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Drinking from a hose in the summer tastes like copper, though. I never really like that.
A hose.
Yeah, that keeps you from tearing your Achilles.
When you're on the All Star
All
team,
right.
You have copper in your body.
Yeah.
If you would have done that more often, you probably would have made it past 8th grade.
What? I have a master's degree.
We're talking about with the baseball, you dumbass.
we would have been watching you at batting practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's an interesting documentary that Kirk Franklin put out about a week ago now.
Hey.
It's about him finding his biological father. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's easily, to me, one of the greatest rollouts ever. Kirk Franklin has an album coming out October 6th, I believe, called Father's Day.
Battle with Drake.
So he was documenting, I guess, just the whole process of recording this album. And during that process, he a friend of his had went to a funeral, and she just had a random conversation with a guy that was at the funeral. And come to find out, the guy at the funeral turns out to be Kirk Franklin's biological dad. And this is only a story because Kirk Franklin thought he buried his biological dad 6 years ago. The man who he thought and believed was his biological father passed away. And then come to find out, he took a DNA test. The gentleman at the funeral that a close friend of Kirk Franklin's met, swabbed his mouth.
So it started as a ghost story, then it turned into a 23andMe story.
Right.
Yeah.
Swabbed itself and said, listen, you can take these and test it and let's just get to the bottom of it. So Kirk Franklin documented all of that, took the DNA results to the gentleman's house, and come to find out that's his dad.
Crazy.
The guy broke down and he cried. He apologized to Kirk Franklin, let him know that had he known that was his son,
He would ask for money.
he would have been there for him. He would have been in his life. And it's really crazy because they don't live but maybe 10 minutes from each other. Same town. His house is on the same street as Kirk Franklin's studio. Kirk Franklin passes
That's
that
crazy.
house all the time. So then Kirk Franklin approaches his biological mother with the results of the DNA test, and his mother's standing on business.
As she should.
She ain't budging. It's been
Yeah.
52 years.
23andMe is the devil.
It's been 52 years, and whoever I told you
It's the devil's work right there. Kirk.
is your dad. And his mother did not fold. She did not budge off of that. They took another DNA test. So this is number 2 now. The first one was 99.99999% positive.
Take a second.
Not close enough.
Then the second one, I wasn't mad at the second one. Because I'm like, he swabbed himself allegedly and then gave the cotton swabs, put them in a Ziploc, whatever. And
Kirk,
said,
he's worth a lot of money.
yeah, so let's make sure. Second DNA test, 100% positive. This is your biological dad.
You pepping.
And Kirk Franklin then turns and looks at his mother and says, I need to hear you say it. And his mother was standing on business. No, this is wrong.
Like a good church.
This is not it. This DNA test is wrong. It's inaccurate.
It's the Obamas.
And Kirk Franklin told his mother, if she didn't come off of that stance and give him what he needed his entire life of knowing who his dad was, that he can no longer have a relationship with her.
Damn.
And I believe it's been maybe they hadn't seen each other before that in 20 years, him and his biological mother.
All right. I I don't want to like talk too much about their actual family business, especially, you know, Christians, God's people. You have to give your mom a second to process that, because there could be a world where his mom really did not know that that was his actual biological father. And now he's saying, here's a DNA test. You're on camera. Say it to me, mom. Like, you have to let your mom process that for a second.
Well, it was time
she
in
could be
between,
finding out as well.
It was time in between the first one and the second one.
But you got a camera on me.
Yeah, but even on the first
like, it's
one.
just, it's a lot. Now you're getting into my past life. Who the fuck knows what was going on at that?
She might have buried those demons a long time ago.
That's a tough thing to put.
No, I get it.
On
putting on camera on somebody. You see how Rory reads?
I get it.
Yeah. Imagine
you've seen
finding
Love on
out
the
that
Spectrum.
My daughter looks identical to me. Is not my child on camera.
No, I get it. It's
I'd
definitely
say nah.
something. It's something tough to process, but at the same time, I feel like his mother, you know, she knew. And then not only that, if you didn't know, the results of this DNA test are sitting right here.
You know how like that
So you could
generation though is really skeptical of that
skeptical of
that kind of
everything.
science, those numbers. They don't trust shit.
Yeah, but it's science.
We
come on.
Now we
That's-
believe in
you can't-
science.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're making it sound too easy.
I mean, when you take a DNA test and it's
Some people don't believe it.
99%,
Some people
and
don't
then the
believe
other one
the
is
DNA
100%, there's not much to, like, literally, this is a legal thing. Like, if that happens a court of law, you would have to take care of
We're
that
dealing
child.
with people that believe in Adam and Eve.
I get that, but at the same time, you're also dealing with people who know who they had sex with and who they dated.
They don't make mistakes though.
That it may very well may be a mistake, but say that.
Yeah, but there's been cases too, to your point, Mo, where people believe so much. I mean, you've seen it. Like when people believe so much in the lie that it becomes their truth.
The truth.
You can convince yourself that that lie is now in fact the truth.
How old is Kirk Franklin?
53.
Damn.
I'm not, and I know I've been putting things on mothers lately, and I apologize, but
Maul's mom.
Maybe she honestly did not remember a sexual partner from 53 years ago in a town, and like, I had sex with him. I don't remember. Everyone in this room, we're pieces of shit. It may take you a while to remember
Stop
somebody you
looking
had sex
right
with
in my eyes for that.
15 years ago.
Yeah, but
53 years ago, and
well,
you're older.
All right,
I'm not
all right.
jacking.
I'm not
I'm not jacking.
Rory, let me tell you
jacking.
something as a woman. Let me tell you something, baby. When you
she throws
when
the
you
baby
even
in.
have a
Oh, now you finally want to speak for all women.
Shut
It's
up.
about fucking time.
Anyway, when you have a pregnancy scare, you know who the possibilities are. You will always know that, and that is not something that you forget with a pregnancy scare. You fuck around and have the baby, you know if there's a possibility that this ain't this person's child. But back in those days, whoever you were with at the time, that is the father. You never speak of another man. You never bring that up.
And that's what I'm saying. That's
why
what
I
happened
think
with Julian's point of it's been so long that she may have convinced herself, because in that moment, this guy had to be the father.
Yeah.
No, even if he's not, this guy has to be the father. I can't say anything else.
Yes, but once
And
but
53
once it
years
starts
past,
being
you
questioned,
may really believe that lie.
No, but once it starts being questioned and they bring that person up, you know in your head, unless you have like dementia, you know in your head, yeah, it was a chance.
Well, what if he was
one
number
chance
3?
Was okay.
No, I
But there was still that chance. You don't look somebody in the eye and say, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not
I think
true.
it also boils down to
Also, your son, you're on camera.
just watching it.
That's the part. But she knows. And that's why I'm saying,
she
like,
definitely
being on camera is different. Yeah, I'll stand on my lie.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough
especially if we
thing.
on camera. But deep down inside, she knows.
I think that it also boils down to how she got pregnant. Because if this is a case where, and I don't know, just watching a documentary and just trying to think of different ways that this could have happened. Let's say she was sexually assaulted.
There's also,
you know what I mean? And she's trying to bury that trauma so deep and, you know, just get away from it, that she's convincing herself there's no way that I was sexually assaulted and then end up bearing a child from being sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
and there's no way, even if that is your father, you don't want that to be your father.
Yep.
Now, interesting you say that. So if it came to anybody that, you know, your biological dad, your mother became pregnant because she was sexually assaulted, would you want a relationship?
No.
No.
Not even a little.
With the guy?
Not even a little bit.
It would.
And I'd be,
and
I'd block that out. I'd be so terrified of like
Yeah.
my own genes. Like,
Yeah.
That would fuck with my mind like you would not believe.
Because that happens more often than we think.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah.
Like, especially when you're talking about a man that's 53 years old,
Small town.
small town in the South,
Try that.
the church. We know the things that go on in the church, around the church, and people that are of the church.
It's like every stereotypical factor.
Yeah, so it's a lot. But I think that, nothing happens by mistake. I think everything is part of the story, and this is just part of Kirk Franklin's journey in his life. But he's doing an amazing job of turning this trauma and this heartbreak into what he does best, which is make music. So this is like part of just the story that happened while he was creating this album that he's putting out next month. So if you didn't see this, definitely watch it. It's about 35 minutes.
This is a little fishy to me, though, outside of everything. You didn't tell me off mic that his biological father's house was on the same road as Kirk's studio. They all live in the same
Well, now,
town,
I don't know how long that house has been there, but currently today,
But you
where
got to
he lives is
understand,
not far
I'm sure everybody in that town
No.
knows that Kirk Franklin's studio is right there,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
He's one of he's if not the biggest gospel.
He's his kids actually used to go. I think some of their friends live like right next door to that house where his now biological father lives. So like he said, like my kids used to be over here all the time. Like, so it's just one of those things where it's like it's right under our nose. We don't know, especially if your mother's telling you, and then the gentleman that you thought was your father died a few years ago. It's a whole bunch of things and variables that's floating around.
Is this all in the same small town? I feel like that guy would know if he had sex with that woman, and that's why I hate.
Well, he did tell Kirk.
I hate to say that I'm leaning on maybe there was an assault, because I feel like he would know. And did he look a lot like Kirk? I mean, of course, there's 53 to whatever age.
It's definitely some.
That small town, his studio's down there. You slept with his mom. Like, come on.
But
come on, it's not like it was someone on the road and then disappeared. You're all in the same small town. His studio's been there forever. He's Kirk fucking Franklin. You look alike, and you slept with his mom.
But it's a different. That
had I known, I would have been there.
No, Rory. That generation is
secretive.
They bury shit.
They bury
like
everything.
it's bad. What I'm wondering is, would you, if you were in the mom's predicament, and let's say like it was a sexual assault, right? Because I think that's an interesting theory. If it was a sexual assault or something like that, and you were the mom, would you even want to tell your child that?
No.
That's the thing, because I'm sitting up here like, do I tell my child because I don't want my child even consorting with this type of person, or do I bury that because I know that that's gonna fuck?
I would want you to tell me. It depends on like I would want my mom to tell me if that was the case, but I would want to be a grown man though. Don't tell me that in my childhood. Tell me that as a grown man, because I can process that differently. I can react to that differently versus being a kid. So if that was the case, because I would want to know exactly how I came to be.
But what if
I would want to know the real story?
What if he was around when you were a kid? You sure you don't want your mom to tell you that? So you're just hanging around this man, being raised by a man who was a predator.
But as a kid, you don't know how to really like handle that.
You don't even know how. Yeah, as a kid, you don't even know how to react to that. Like,
I'm not saying that
she was too. Let's say it was her plan eventually when Kirk got older that she was eventually going to tell the real story, and then Kirk Franklin makes it, and his life is great. He's doing amazing. Like,
and you don't want to interrupt that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could tell him the truth. It's probably the right thing to do. But we got through his childhood. He's the most successful gospel singer. Like, why should I not fuck with this perfect scenario? I know everything's not perfect, but
yeah.
I mean, hey.
Shit is all right right now. Like, should I really disrupt it?
That's his.
That's the I can see a world where people just shut up at that point.
I grew up like I call them my cousins, like because we grew up so close to each other. But something like this happened to them. Like my homeboy, like the person that he thought was his dad isn't his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And his dad happens to be his cousin's dad.
Ooh.
So the story is his mom.
His brothers?
His mom and his mom's sister or his aunt. His mom slept with her sister's boyfriend. Damn. And ended up getting pregnant and end up having him. And he's the oldest. Now his two younger siblings are like light brown skin. He is like dark skinned. and his cousin's dad is dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like once we got that story, as we got older, I think back like, how did we not see this as kids? Because he looks just like him.
You didn't think about it.
Like I'm talking about just like him.
But sometimes that happens though. Because I know people who look like, I know people who look just like people that they're in no way related to. And it's like, damn, it looked like you slept with that girl. Man, your baby looked just like that. It's like, it's not. Like that happens sometimes. And sometimes siblings can have the same parents and they come out looking completely different. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, as kids, I wouldn't expect you to recognize that. Adults don't even recognize.
Yeah, because
if Rory's daughter came out looking like,
Rory's a white man. Black people have completely different genes.
Yeah, no.
Okay, my cousin.
I said if Rory's daughter came out looking like Adin.
Yo, that'd be a sexy ass baby.
Well, let's say
he could work.
Let's even say Yomi
as co-parenting, like the three of us.
Skin tone.
Oh.
You wouldn't be like
with me and who?
No, with him and Kia.
You know,
Amara.
Yeah, but your view of skin tone is
Amara could never.
Amara could have been Edin's color.
Thank you.
Amara could have been Edin's color.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, that's true. No, they're right. That
okay. Yeah.
That's
Kia's color.
That 25. That 25% black could have came out and she could have been.
She could have squared up.
It's making me cringe a little bit, but for content, let's do it.
Oh,
if Edin and Kia slept together, you think Amara would look the same as B and
we're saying Amara could be Edin's skin tone.
That's not what anybody is saying.
I thought you were saying Edin would create the same skin tone baby as I would.
No.
I said if your baby came out looking like
my skin
or Edin,
gotcha.
We would all have to raise an eyebrow like.
And then we came out.
I don't think so.
We came out and said,
No.
We came out and said that Kia's blackness could provide darker. Your baby, there was a chance that your baby could have been a lot darker than what
for sure.
was.
Like this.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying she could have came out Edin's color.
Got them strong.
She could have came out Julian's color.
That is
got that strong. Never mind.
The white rice.
That is his fucking
man.
baby.
Fuck all. Listen. If Rory would have walked in here with a baby that looked like Yomi, I would have had some questions.
That looked like Yomi?
I would have had some questions.
Skin color just looked.
I would have had some questions.
But like no. But
yeah, because I would think Yomi fucked her.
I'm like, whose Japanese baby is that?
I would have had some.
I had suspicions after the SZA concert.
I'm like, yeah, I would have.
She laughing though.
I would have definitely been a little like, it's something not all the way clicking here, but
Yomi's color though.
Yeah, nah.
Fam, but look at Kia.
Yeah, nah.
There's a world where yes, Amara could have been.
I need to
not
see,
much darker,
I need
but
to
a little
see
darker.
at least some of
my
that.
brother and I are pretty significant different shades.
Yeah, him and his parents, him and his brothers.
Kendall's much lighter than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got a blend.
And your older
With
brother
your mom
looks
and your dad.
blacker than
Sound like your dad got some questions he might need to lay down.
Nah, that's the right blend.
Nah, he doesn't.
Okay.
That's the right blend.
That's just that's the way that genes work.
One day we're supposed to celebrate. Let's get all the family secrets out.
It sound like Pops might need to be like, yo, let me ask you something.
I know a pair of twins where one is light skin and one is dark skin.
Ooh.
Like that, like yeah, one is light skin and one is literally dark skin.
It was a train.
That's literally me and my twin.
No, except you guys, there's different genders.
Bro, what?
One is still light skin, one is still like dark.
Oh, she's light skin.
Also, children can look like other family members.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
Like my cousin looks identical to my mom, not her actual mother.
Yeah, but what would that have to do with if your cousin?
It was to your point when you talk about your cousins with a different father and
why you guys didn't recognize.
You may not recognize it.
He wasn't related.
He wasn't related to that dude. Well, he wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, but you still call him uncle.
That was his aunt's baby
but
father.
I'm saying like sometimes they can look not exactly like their parents.
No. He looked exactly like that dude.
I mean,
I'm talking about like once.
When did he find out?
A few years ago.
Oh wow.
Oof.
Yeah, a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago.
Wait, how old are they? If you can.
Now they're like we're the same age. Like
did that
30,
matter?
40.
Like in terms of relationship or
hell yeah, it matters.
Well, how in what way?
If you don't, if the person you were calling dad your whole life isn't your dad.
In this case, like how did that affect his relationship with who he thought was his father?
I like them all also said he was 39. So we're the same age, 39.
I mean, they're around the same age.
Yeah, I'm 41.
I'm joking. It's just how you work.
Yeah.
So it's like, it affected them because he started tying in a lot of things from his childhood to that. Like why I always got yelled at. And we just always tied it to because you're the oldest out of your siblings.
Okay, got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like why I always got punishment like the harshest. Why did I always I can't remember the last time my mom said she loves me. I can't remember the last time my mom hugged me. I can't remember the last time my mom looked me in my eyes when she was talking to me. Like
there was always resentment?
things like that. It's like he didn't realize, he didn't know.
Yeah.
But once you get that information,
sometimes it takes one family secret to unlock every question you had in your
tie
childhood.
all that
Everything
shit
makes
together.
sense.
Like, oh shit, like
Damn.
because it happened in a way where it was like it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So in essence, my mom probably looks at me like, I don't not hate you, but I don't love you the way I should because I don't love the way you were conceived.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have happened.
That sucks.
You represent a mistake.
Yeah.
Somebody that's still around.
Yeah, and not even so.
We got to act like it never happened. We can't even speak to each other.
A part of that.
I'm
A part
angry
of
at
that.
my own lie, and I'm now taking it out on the lie.
Yeah.
And also, if I get, she's probably has a wall up because it's like, if I get too close to you, I might break down and start crying and spill this secret. Like there has to be like a wall between us because it's like I can't fully love you the way that I need to.
Yeah, but that's
because
fucked
I will
up.
break down.
That's fucked up.
It is.
Because
years of that.
Because what it did now is now his relationships with his siblings,
For sure.
with his cousins,
Fucked all of it up.
he feels like, yo, y'all had to know this. Somebody knew this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it goes back though, right? Because it's like, okay, so do you tell them as a child? What age? What's like a potential
Well, no, I
correct
can't tell
age?
you as a child because that
Maybe
means I would have to
teenager?
tell my sister.
high school?
No, you have
Like
to tell.
something,
You have to. To me,
The child was there no matter
I
what.
would want to. I would want to know that when I'm of age and able enough to process that correctly. I would want to be a man.
So like
Because
21,
again, as
I
a
might try
kid,
funny, like
as a kid, I might just flip out and feel like
confused.
running away from home now.
Yeah.
But to the point Rory was
know what I'm
making
saying?
about Kirk Franklin is like, when is there ever an appropriate time?
Yeah, what is
say
the
you're
time?
21, say you have a job, say you have a career. When is it ever a good time to drop something like that into the mix?
I think when you see that your child has kind of got life under control for themselves, they have their own thing going on. They found their own way. You see your child is actively an adult and doing things the right way and conducting themselves as adults. They have a career, they have family, they have all of these things in play where you know that this information, while it can really harm somebody and break them, you know that now my child is in a space in their life where they have enough support, they have enough foundation to where, yes, this news will change your life, but it won't completely destroy your life.
But they won't. But you'll never know whether it'll completely.
You will never know.
them.
It's never no way to tell.
And
But
it's honestly never a right time because life is always life, and somebody is always dying. Somebody is always going through a breakup.
like-
you always quitting a job. Like life does not stop where there's a point where everything is okay.
100%. But like Kirk Franklin, his situation is he always wanted a dad. He always wanted a father. He always wanted that father figure. He was adopted by a woman that was 64 years old. And like raised by a woman that was 64 as the only child. Like,
Oof, geez.
can you imagine what that's like?
Hell.
Oh, he wasn't even
Sounds
raised
like a
by his
Disney
mom.
film.
No, he wasn't raised by his biological.
Why was he looking at her for?
Because I mean,
Oh no, I mean I
because
thought that already too.
they have a relationship after like he
After
became
the
a
whole-
man.
Yeah.
Well, why did she give him up? Was she on drugs or something like that?
Probably.
Because that adds in another factor of why.
Also,
Or
young
she was-
parents
I think
keep
she
their
was
kids-
really young too when she had a baby. I think she may have been 16,
Damn.
maybe
Well, then all of
wanna
that
get rid of
makes
it?
sense.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that again, it's one of those situations where I just feel like a lot of families have this type of secret going on, and at some point you have to
Secrets
tell.
in general.
Yeah.
But this one to me, I think is a very common secret amongst families. Like
Yeesh.
the person you think is your dad is not your real dad. I think that this is a very common thing in a lot of families, especially when you start going south, southern states, things like that. Like to me, I think that this is a very, very normal thing in those types of families.
Man, that sucks to think. It's like you're almost life is throwing you a choice of either getting your trauma so early in your childhood or way later on.
Give it to me in my childhood.
I don't know.
Nah,
Give
hell
it
I
to me in
don't
my
know.
childhood.
Hell no.
I don't know, man.
I could adapt to trauma differently as an
Imagine
adult.
how many things
As a kid,
subconsciously are still
I think as a kid, that shit changes the entire trajectory of the rest of your life.
So
if
does
you
not
receive that
having a
trauma.
dad.
Yeah, but not having a dad, you don't know what you're missing because you don't have it. But to grow up and be like, yo, I love you, dad. You know, and then find out like, nigga, that ain't your dad. I think that's way worse than the dad being absent.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which is worse, but this is kind of the verses in that regard. Do I get my...
Did you just call this a versus?
Versus, yeah. Do I get all my trauma as a kid and then grow up and try to deal with it, heal with it, not project it on other people, but at least I know exactly what my trauma is, or be 40 years old, get information, and now have to question
everything
every year behind me since I found this out. That's crazy.
Because now you're living in the past.
Yeah, but
even now I'm living a lie. I don't even know who the fuck I am.
And as an adult, and I feel like not knowing who you are as a kid, you have time to grow and develop your identity outside of that. But as an adult, creating your whole entire identity and then having that shattered, I'm fucking good. If I found out my father wasn't my father right now, it would send me into the river. So that's why it's like, I'd rather deal with it as a kid. Like, let me get it over with and just...
Yeah, but you do it as a kid. Now you fucking, you know, hanging out in front of Hot Topic, doing fucking drugs behind 7-Eleven.
How'd Hot Topic get a shot?
I did
You
that.
know, that's
I
all,
survived.
I think that's all with a kid.
There's so much of the onus is on like the parent. It's the parent's fault.
100%.
This is so mismanaged by
100%.
whoever was raising him.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
That's not. We're not debating that.
Yeah.
100% is the parent's
No, but I mean,
fault.
like I think there's a way in which in either scenario, when the kid's young or when they're an adult, that the truth in this scenario, I think would be better if you tell the kid. But the truth can be told, and you can explain the situation and raise a kid under the truth, rather than cloaking it for 40 plus years. And then you're grown, you're successful. Ta-da!
No, I mean, you know what?
Because you're an
it
adult.
does make it. I think it goes both ways, because I have another friend where it's the opposite. Like, he didn't find out who his real father was until a few years ago. And come to find out, he has siblings, and he has a brother that was big in the music industry. And like what he's doing is he's now in the entertainment industry.
Or is this you?
No, this is a friend. He has a friend that's he's in entertainment as well, but he wanted to be a rapper when he was younger. He was writing rhymes, you know, he was recording things like that. Kind of got discouraged, went away with it, but now he's, you know, entering the entertainment industry through another channel now. But his thing was, because now that he found out who his dad was, he found out who his other siblings are. His brother happens to be one of the first people in hip hop to break a record overseas and all this other. He felt like had he known that when he was a kid and he was younger, it may have pushed him to want to pursue his musical dreams even harder, being the fact that he has a brother who already did it. So in that case, it may have worked in telling the kid when they're younger, like, yo, this is who your real dad is. You have other siblings. This is what they do. So it may have impacted him differently. Like, oh, word, I got a brother that is already did this music shit, and he's, all right, then fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. Versus you don't know, and then like you give up on your musical aspirations.
But that's
but what if he finds out in the middle of that and the brother just rejects him because it's like, hey, I'm your brother, and it's like, all right, bet, because that's a whole nother separate trauma for the other brother of finding out that he has another sibling.
No, I think,
and I don't know if they would just immediately mesh right away.
No.
Here's a record contract.
No. It's not. I'm not talking about that. It's just the fact that I have a blood sibling.
Yeah. We have something in
who
common.
has pursued this dream as well, and they were successful. So why not me? Is all I'm saying. Like, I think that it works both ways for kids. If you tell them young, you give them the truth versus as an adult. I think it works both ways.
I get that, but again, like the willingness to be truthful to a kid shouldn't come with the hopes of a potential career. It should just be tell the truth because it's the right thing to do.
No, I'm not saying because of. I'm just saying how it can affect them differently at a different age.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it can go either way. It can affect them negatively, or it can be a positive influence as well.
Yeah, and like imagine me finding out that I have a brother that was a Little League All-Star.
Yeah.
Like, things may have changed.
Yeah, Julian.
We're related.
Yeah, exactly.
Same skin tone.
I would have taken baseball very seriously.
Yeah.
We have voicemails?
You've got mail.
Yeah, voicemails.
Let's do it.
Hopefully we don't find out that somebody on this crew has a father that's not their father through these voicemails.
I look just like that nigga.
My dad is my dad. Trust.
I don't think there's
My name is
a
my
doubt in
name.
the fucking world.
Yeah.
I did sign up for 23andMe for other reasons, though.
Like what?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh.
Might be some
Patreon.
No.
This it's not a relationship one. It's actually, I think this will spark a good conversation.
Hey guys, big fan since like day one. Love you guys, everything you do. Just looking for some life advice. Constantly feeling like I'm just in competition with everybody. Even if, like, for example, me and my fiance are going to be buying a house soon. It's really exciting. We've got a big year coming up for us. And my dad is, giving me like some advice on things like, hey, have you thought about this? Have you done that? You should look at this. And it's all genuinely very helpful things. He's done this before. I haven't. I'm grateful I have supportive parents. But a lot of times when he's like, hey, have you thought about this or done this yet? All I hear out of that is, I bet you haven't done this. Why haven't you done that? You're doing it wrong. It just, everything seems like a personal attack or challenge. I mean, this could be anybody. But I don't want to be like that, man. That's how, I feel like it's turning me into a more bitter, jaded person, and that just kind of fucking sucks. So, yeah, I mean, how do you guys, I guess, just feel, what do you do to be more content and just happy with yourself and your own decisions and not have to worry about the outside world, just like looking at your every move and like just feeling judged and like everything has to be perfect,
Don't start a podcast.
I just feel this pressure all the time. Just everything has to be perfect. And if not, everybody's going to just see it and just be like, oh man, he fucked that up. So yeah, what do you guys think? Any advice for me? Thanks. Appreciate it.
Stay off social media.
That sounds a lot easier said than done.
I know.
Yeah. Change your perspective on social media.
Exactly.
As far as everyone is just posting their highlight reel, and they're lying, and they may be miserable. Like, that's how you kind of have to view when you get in that world of like, am I not doing enough? Because I see everyone posting the greatest thing that they've done this year.
Yeah.
Anytime I refresh my feed. To the deeper part of what he was asking was, hey, I'm buying a house. I think it's a great accomplishment. But now my parents and people around me are finding ways to critique what I view as an accomplishment. Social media is one thing. That's a way deeper wound than just trying to scroll and see like, oh, this person's posting their car. This person got a job. This person is with this person. Oh, they're in love. That's one thing. And I think that is a little bit easier to get over than when you finally feel like you've accomplished something and you're looking for the approval of the people that you looked up to and raised you. And all they're doing is telling you now, once you've accomplished it, that you're accomplishing it wrong.
But
that's fucked up.
I don't think that's what happened. Listening to him talk, he the problem. And I'm not saying
I wouldn't call him a problem.
He is his own problem. If you replay that voicemail again, what he is basically going through right now is he is insecure about what he's doing. And so that anything anybody says to him or that he sees, he's taking it personal. Right. His parents are probably just like, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Like, did you make sure? And he's like, taking offense because he's insecure about what he's accomplishing and he's afraid that he's accomplishing wrong.
Don't do that, because some parents' version of what they think is checking on you and making sure you're okay is insulting what you're doing. And making you feel like you're doing things wrong. And in their brains, that's the version of love that's like, I'm just making sure you're all right. Like, I don't want you to fuck this up. Instead of being like, look what I've done. I know what I'm doing. I appreciate your support. You can word it differently. Yeah. That's how I took that.
But it's generational.
As those parents that are raised that they were raised the same way.
Insecurities are only, exposed more through social media, I think. I think that if you're just an insecure person, you're an insecure person. But now if you're an insecure person and you're sitting on social media all day, now you're just asking for like a complete pile of shit on your shoulders where it's like now you're trying to compete with everyone that you follow on social media. You're trying to see where you fit in. And it's like, but you're not even secure enough with yourself to try to compare yourself to people you don't even know. And they're just showing you their highlights.
It's funny that the kids say clout is a new currency or whatever, because social media is a lot like how we would view money. Money doesn't change you. It just makes you more of what you already are. Mm-hmm. If you're a super insecure person, social media will make you more insecure. Mm-hmm. If you really want to give back to the community, social media can help you. Mm-hmm. Like, you could really help people. Yeah. It just makes you more of what's already there. But I think that's tied into, and I'm sorry if I'm putting shit on your parents' jacket, if you're raised by people that may make you feel insecure because you feel like you're never doing enough, don't get on fucking Instagram, because you were raised to be an insecure person, and it could not be your parents' like intentions. They could be great people that love you. Mm-hmm. They just don't know how to project love correctly. They think checking up on you is telling you, hey, don't fuck that up. It's like, wait, hold on. How would you just ask me if I've hit the checklist?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when vulnerabilities manifest when you're really he's certainly obviously in a transitional stage in his life.
Bought a house, congrats.
Yeah, your fiance bought a house. It's
fucking
amazing, man. Regardless of the size, the lot, how much it costs, that's an accomplishment. I haven't done either of those things. I get no bitches and I don't have a house.
Same.
So
that's true.
Yeah, it's a fact. So I'm just like, it's tough, to Rory's point, when you're seeing these things that should be major milestones, and then your parents, the people that you turn to most for that support, aren't being there. And I think to Damaris's point, he's admitting that he has been sensitive and insecure because of the reaction he gets from the people he cares about most. So what can he do to ease, maybe better field if it's not negativity, for lack of a better term, negativity coming from his parents, but then also be proud of the things that he's already done and has going on in his near future. Therapy?
I think.
Well, yeah.
I think he needs to look. He needs to look within, because people. It's not about what people are doing. It's about your reactions to these things and how you are perceiving them, and that's coming from your own world lens. And I'm not critiquing you at all, because I often have the same problem. But you need to heal your insecurities, and you will see the world in a completely different light once you start to do that. And you will realize that not everyone is attacking you, and not everyone is criticizing you when they ask you a question. Like it really is a you thing. And I think you need to work on that and heal that.
I think a lot of the times with insecurities and things like that comes from just comparing and, having these silent competitions with people you don't even know half the time, which is sick.
Right.
But I think a lot of the times, you take some time and look back to a lot of times where you were in your life where it was like, damn, I want a house. I want a fiance. I want, a family. And once you accomplish those things, it's like you have, things checked off on your list that you probably never thought you would achieve. I'm being a homeowner and things like that. Like, so, take some time to reflect on your own scale and look at yourself and see how far you've come from where you were, and just be happy and grateful with that, man. To me, that's just the easiest way.
You're so right, but that's so much easier said than done.
No, it's tough. It's tough to do. But again, being on social media, comparing yourself to people that you don't even know is not going to help.
And again, we don't know your relationship with your parents.
Remedy for suicide.
Yeah.
We don't know your relationship with your parents, but I think you have to get to a point, if you're comfortable enough, have a conversation with them and say, hey, like, address these comments or how you phrase these things make me feel, and then explain yourself. Yeah. If you have a good relationship with them, then I feel like you should invite those conversations into the forefront. You shouldn't just because then what? You just keep burying these things, keep eating all these micro like aggressions, and then it's just going to come to an explosion, like on your moving day or something. Like, it's not going to end well if you keep ducking the root of the issue.
Yeah, and as someone if that is the case, to what Julian is saying, as someone that's been through that with both their parents, they're not going to listen the first few times. It takes, you're going to have to continue to repeat yourself and set your boundaries. Listen, when I first got my first high rise and my dad came, I was so proud. And my dad is an amazing guy. I love him. He just says things incorrectly. I now know that that's not his intention. But when I was younger, I took the words he said as literal.
Mm-hmm.
He walked into my high rise apartment and said, "Yo, you sure you can really afford this? Don't get evicted." And I was like, bro, I have been on my own since 17. I was 25 when I got that. Like, do you think I've never crawled back home. I never asked nobody for money. Like, you're not proud of me? And he was, but that's his way of saying,
yeah.
And being scared
you
for
might
me.
lose it.
Yeah.
Like I now know he didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
It was really like, nah, bro, I don't want to see you overextend yourself.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up, but that's a different generation.
I think that
don't fuck this up,
that's
son.
my point.
I'm like,
It's a whole
damn,
different
what the
generation.
fuck? I wanted you to come here to show you, like, yo, your son got a high-rise apartment.
I think that's just parents.
The response is,
though.
yo, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, I think that's just parents, though. I think parents, no matter how old you are, you're always going to be their babies, and they just want to make sure that you're okay, and, more importantly, you're not coming back in this fucking house. But I just think that it boils down to that. They want their kids to be, well off and taking care of themselves, and don't want them to be in a situation where they lose everything that they work for. But I do understand how you're saying, like, as an adult, you can take that differently.
Yeah.
As a kid, it's like,
damn,
I'm crushed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As
like
an
when you
adult,
don't make the All-Star.
yeah,
Like,
Can't relate.
Well,
Never relate.
to this guy,
son, you're trash.
to this guy,
Look what Julian's doing.
call
Why
back.
can't you be more like Julian?
Call back and let us know if we are projecting our own traumas
think we
onto
are.
you,
Kind of.
probably
or
wasn't
if we're
discussion.
actually very close. So call back and let us know how the move went.
We'll come to the housewarming.
Word.
Maul said he'll bring a.
We'll send you a gift.
What's a vegan dish you can?
Where's he from?
Celery.
Where is?
I don't think
he
he
had
named it. I don't think he named it, but it sounded like somewhere down south or
Yeah.
Midwest. But yeah,
Oh, no, I'm not going.
Damn. All right.
you was gonna go if it was in New York.
No.
No.
Yeah. So
I was gonna be like, why are you guys mad?
You wouldn't have
you
gone if it
you
was
guys
down
were
the
serious. No one was really going.
No.
You guys were gonna show up to his housewarming.
no.
No.
I wanted to show up to the housewarming of the guy that wasn't allowed to go because his girlfriend hated.
Oh, that would have been a fun one.
I would have went just
Well,
to
he
be a
had
fly
a
on the
couple
wall.
extra passes because she wasn't welcome.
But I'm not going to his toxic ass housewarming to PTSD.
It's been reported that Angus Cloud's cause of death. Angus Cloud was the actor that we all come to know from his role in Euphoria. His cause of death has been revealed as an accidental overdose of fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine. Again, here we are with another tragic ending to what seemed to be a bright future, due to an accidental overdose. We understand that this is a problem in our country, and probably around the world at this point. I can guess that fentanyl is moving all around at this point. But sad story. Again, prayers and condolences to the family. It's never an easy thing when you find out it was an accidental overdose. This person didn't mean to ingest something that was going to kill him. But ultimately, this is what happened. So again, rest in peace to Angus Cloud, and continued prayers and strength to his family and his loved ones.
And even though there's fentanyl and all these, things that could easily kill people out there, it doesn't mean the drugs are any easier to quit. So take precautionary measures, get Narcan, get test kits. Bars usually carry Narcan. It's like an EpiPen for overdoses. Just do the things you can do to mitigate, if you're still in that scene. Just be smart. That's all you can
Be smart, be safe, know where you're getting your drugs from, who you're getting your drugs from, and good luck. Because that at this point, it seems like it's just like drawing a fucking lottery ticket. Like, it's almost the same shit.
You really never know.
You never know. You don't know, where this pill is from, what's in it, who brought the cocaine to the party, what's in it. I get people, they're gonna party, they're gonna have fun, they have their vices and things like that. But again, just be careful, man. Be careful and try to just party responsibly and be smart about your decisions.
And I'd say foul play, but if he had no idea there was fentanyl in there, I hope that dealer gets the same sentence of the dealer that gave Mac Miller cocaine that had fentanyl in it.
Yep.
Well, we just saw with Michael K. Williams, his dealer that he got his drugs from that killed him. And he just got 7 years or something like that in prison, maybe.
And that should happen regardless. And to Julian's point too, like we all know that you can't just get off drugs like that. So at least start taking measures in the meantime to do your vice safely.
Mm-hmm.
Drug dealers also, you see what's happening. You could be responsible. You should check your shit too before you sell it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah, I never understood the incentive for a dealer to sell products that could not only result in death for their clientele, but also land them in prison. I never understood
because
I know it's cheap
outside
to cut
of
with that.
Any of these drugs,
outside of the kingpins that could be CEOs, like a lot of drug dealers are just lazy, shitty people that got their product from someone that they didn't know either, and it's just passed.
Yeah,
they're just trying to get $60.
I guess.
Like,
I mean,
at this point,
not only that though,
I'm a realist. People are always going to sell drugs, so I'm not going to be like, we need to stop the fentanyl dealers. We do, but the fentanyl dealers are the United States of America. Drug dealers need to take responsibility and check their fucking drugs before they sell them to people, because you're going to go to jail too.
Again,
I'm a realist.
I get it.
They shouldn't sell it, but they're going to sell it regardless of what I say. So fucking check it.
But here's the opposite side of that is people want fentanyl. Drug users want fentanyl.
I don't know this fact percentage-wise. I could just be talking off a feeling. I think a majority of people that get hooked on a fentanyl got hooked on a fentanyl because they took a drug they didn't know had fentanyl in it. And once they got that high, they continued to take fentanyl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. But this is no
yes,
different.
People want fentanyl, but it is because they probably accidentally a few times, maybe even knowing, like, oh, that was the fentanyl that was making me feel that way.
Yeah, but this is nothing new. This is just the new, the latest because, you know.
And the worst.
When people were getting pure heroin, that sometimes was too much for people. And that was just pure heroin. But it was too much for certain people and people overdosed. And that's just what happens when you talk about using drugs. Fentanyl now, because this is what they're cutting the drugs with, and a lot of these drug users don't even want drugs unless they have fentanyl in it. Again, it's just like, it's the luck of the draw. Like, you have it, and it just gives you a great high, and you're like, okay, cool, but then now you continue to do it, and then that one time is the tragic time where it ends up killing you. But again, a lot of these drug users trust and believe they know fentanyl is in it. They want the fentanyl, and if the fentanyl is not in it, they don't want it. That's just what it is in the streets right now. Yeah. They want whatever is going to get them the highest, and get them as close to death as possible without going over the edge.
Yeah, I feel you. Again, rest in peace. Prayers to his family. Prayers to the entire Euphoria staff. Again, just tragic. Let's head over to Patreon. We have a few topics. We have to talk about the Geechee battle. Remy Ma situation.
Yeah, I need to really like see what this is about. I've been seeing it all over the timeline.
You've asked me off camera multiple times if this is true, and I'm trying to tell you it is, and we'll discuss it on Patreon.
Yeah, because you know why? I just don't know what's real anymore. Like everybody does things for clicks and engagement and all this other shit. It's like, all right, is this really real? Because a lot of times I don't even want to talk about shit if it's just something that's they just want to get people talking. It's like, I don't want to talk about that.
Gonna fully break it down for you on Patreon. We have to get into Drake's potential shot at Meg. I can't wait to argue that with y'all. Hassan Minaj lying, if you're into comedy. But we'll head over to Patreon now.
NewRoryNMal.